Hi friends. Our today's story is The Lazy Ant. Once, there was a colony of ants who worked hard every day to gather food and store it in their nest. They knew that winter was coming soon, and they had to prepare for the cold and hungry days ahead. But there was one ant who was very lazy. He did not like to work at all. He always made excuses to avoid helping his fellow ants. He preferred to spend his time playing, sleeping, or eating the food that others had collected. The other ants warned him that he would regret his laziness when winter came. They told him that he should work hard and contribute to the colony's survival. But the lazy ant did not listen. He thought that he could always find food somewhere else, or beg from others. One day, winter arrived. The weather became cold and snowy, and food became scarce. The ants stayed inside their nest, where they had enough food to last them until spring. They were happy and grateful for their hard work. But the lazy ant was not happy. He had no food stored in his nest, and he was starving. He went out to look for food, but he could not find any. He tried to beg from other animals, but they all refused to share with him. They said that he should have worked when he had the chance. The lazy ant realized his mistake too late. He wished he had listened to the other ants and worked hard like them. He learned that laziness leads to suffering, and hard work leads to happiness. The moral of this story is that laziness leads to suffering, and hard work leads to happiness. This is a lesson that the lazy ant learned the hard way, when he faced the consequences of his actions. The story teaches us to be diligent and responsible, and to prepare for the future. It also shows us the value of teamwork and cooperation, as the other ants worked together to survive the winter. Hope you enjoyed the story. Let's go to next story. Press subscribe button for more videos like this now.
Hi friends. Our today's story is The Proud Peacock and the Humble Sparrow. A proud peacock lived in a forest. He had beautiful feathers that sparkled in the sun. He loved to show off his feathers to everyone and boast about how handsome he was. One day, he saw a humble sparrow sitting on a branch. The sparrow had plain brown feathers and a small body. The peacock felt pity for the sparrow and said, "Poor sparrow, you are so ugly and dull. How do you live with yourself? You should be ashamed of your appearance." The sparrow was not offended by the peacock's words. He said, "Thank you for your concern, but I am happy with myself. I do not need to be beautiful or flashy to enjoy life. I have many friends who love me for who I am, not for how I look." The peacock laughed and said, "Friends? What friends? You mean those other sparrows who are as ugly and dull as you? They are not your friends, they are your enemies. They are jealous of me and my beauty. They wish they could be like me, but they know they can never be." The sparrow said, "You are mistaken, peacock. My friends are not jealous of you, they are sorry for you. They know that you are lonely and arrogant. You have no one to share your joy or sorrow with. You only care about yourself and your feathers." The peacock said, "You are lying, sparrow. You are trying to make me feel bad about myself. But you can't fool me. I know that I am the most beautiful and admired bird in the forest. Everyone loves me and praises me. You are just a nobody who nobody cares about." The sparrow said, "You are deluded, peacock. You think that everyone loves you and praises you, but they don't. They only flatter you and mock you behind your back. They laugh at your vanity and foolishness. You are just a joke who nobody respects." The peacock said, "Enough, sparrow. You have gone too far. You have insulted me and my feathers. You have challenged my dignity and honor. You have made me angry and I will not tolerate it any longer. I will teach you a lesson that you will never forget." The sparrow said, "What lesson, peacock?" What can you do to me? You can't harm me or hurt me. You can't catch me or touch me. You can only flap your wings and scream your threats. You are powerless and pathetic. The peacock spread his feathers and ran towards the sparrow with his beak open. He wanted to peck the sparrow and make him bleed. The sparrow flew away from the branch and dodged the peacock's attack. He said, "You see, peacock? You can't catch me or touch me. You are slow and clumsy." The peacock chased the sparrow in the air and tried to catch him with his claws. He wanted to scratch the sparrow and make him cry. The sparrow flew higher and higher and escaped the peacock's grasp. He said, "You see, peacock? You can't harm me or hurt me. You are weak and tired." The peacock followed the sparrow until he reached the sky. He wanted to reach the sparrow and make him suffer. But as he flew higher and higher, he felt a sudden pain in his chest. He had flown too high and too fast for his body to handle. He had exhausted himself and his heart could not bear it any longer. He fell down from the sky like a stone and crashed on the ground with a loud thud. His feathers were scattered all over the place and his body was broken and lifeless. The sparrow looked down from above and saw the peacock's fate. He said, "You see, peacock? You have fallen from grace and glory. You have lost your beauty and pride. You have paid the price for your arrogance and cruelty." He flew away with a sigh of relief and sadness. He said, "Farewell, peacock. May you find peace and wisdom in the next life." Moral: pride goes before a fall. We should not look down on others because of their appearance or status. Hope you enjoyed the story. Let's go to next story. Press subscribe button for more videos like this now.
Hi friends. Our today's story is, the name of the story is The Bookworm and the Library. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Tara who loved to read books. She had a big collection of books in her room, and she always wanted to read more. One day, she went to the library with her mother to borrow some new books. She saw a shelf full of colorful and shiny books that looked very attractive. She quickly picked up some of them and put them in her bag. She didn't bother to look at the titles or the authors, she just judged them by their covers. She also saw another shelf full of old and dusty books that looked very boring. She ignored them and thought they were not worth reading. She didn't know that those books were actually classics and had wonderful stories inside them. She missed out on the chance to read them and learn from them. When she got home, she eagerly opened one of the books she had borrowed. She was disappointed to find out that it was a very silly and shallow story that had nothing to do with the beautiful cover. She tried another book, but it was the same. She realized that all the books she had borrowed were just pretty on the outside, but empty on the inside. She felt cheated and angry. She wished she had chosen the books more carefully and not judged them by their covers. She learned a valuable lesson that day: don't judge a book by its cover. Hope you enjoyed the story. Let's go to next story. Press subscribe button for more videos like this now.